ordinary Excel, SQL, Power BI is okay, and they are okay with that. No, it is not like it is not okay. You can do with that actually, but learning programming language, either Python or R, will give you an edge. Give you an edge. And I always say something: when you see job requirements, you don't have to restrict yourself like, "Ah, I can't apply for this because I don't know this." So if you know what you need, what you are supposed to know, then you have a higher chance of getting your job at the right time. So moving on, we talk about get familiar with data tools. You have to familiarize yourself with the most used analysis tools, and we have a lot of them. Sorry if I'm using the word analysis here. If I'm using the word data analysis, data science most, is because that's what I am familiar with. You understand? So forgive me for that. But you have to familiarize yourself with most used analysis tools such as Microsoft Excel, Tableau, Power BI, SQL, Jupyter Notebook, RStudio, Google Analytics, SPSS, and so on. Today's presentation is not about how to use all these tools. I assume that you all here know how to use one or more of these tools. What we are just trying to do here is to let us know how all these things will help us in securing our job and in getting what we need to get as a data analyst and data scientist. Now, the next thing is to develop your skill set. Possessing the right skill set is important to becoming a data professional. So when you are talking about skills, we have both technical skills and we have soft skills. We call it hard and soft skills. So for a data professional, you have to possess both type of skills, both hard skills and soft skills. In terms of hard skills, we are talking about our tools: Excel, SQL, Power BI, Python, R, and so on and so forth. Those are your technical skills. But when it comes to soft skill, you're talking about communication, critical thinking, your attitude to work, and a lot of things. So they are both important. They are both important, especially when it comes to data analysis. Most of the time you have to present your results. You have to present what you have analyzed to your company. So communication skill, critical thinking, problem solving skills, all those skills are very, very important. So that is that. Then the next thing is to build your portfolio. So you are learning, you build portfolio, because portfolio is very, very important. That is what we present you to people. People will know what you do through your portfolio. They will know how good you are through your portfolio. It's not just by mouth. You can't be explaining to everybody. So, but you can share your portfolio and people will look at it and be confident to work with you. So you can build your portfolio by volunteering in a data project. You see people working on projects, on data projects, you can join, you can volunteer to work. You are building your portfolio. It might not necessarily comes with money. You keep doing that kind of thing. You can consider internships. By doing internships, you are building your portfolio. You can freelance too. So we talk more about this freelance because freelance is also kind of job. It's a job too because you get paid. So these are ways by which you can build your portfolio. You can also work on personal projects because, as someone mentioned that to work, like to get a job, you need portfolio. Meanwhile, to build a portfolio, you need a job. It is true to some extent, but it is not always true. To build a portfolio, it is not necessary you have a job. As you are working on personal projects, as you are learning, those personal projects you are working on, you can be using them, you can be including them in your portfolio. We still talk about building portfolio later in this presentation. Now, most importantly, after all this, you've learned skills, you've developed yourself, you have been learning and network. Make sure you network, develop a valuable relationship. Something like this program that sorry, what's your name? Oluwatoyin, right?
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So something like this is a very good avenue to network. Like you network with people that are in that field. You understand, you develop a valuable relationship with people. Another way to network is by impacting knowledge. It is not always enough for you to just join a community of data analysts alone. Teach people. By impacting knowledge, by organizing free and paid classes, you are bringing more people into that field. And one thing is that people that you are teaching, when opportunity comes and they know that you are better in that, like you have a higher chance of doing that thing better, they will refer you. When I got my job as a data analyst in Money Point, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know anyone. I just got a call that one of someone that I taught data analysis, like in one of the free classes I organized. So the person referred me because the person was asked if he can do that particular job, but he was just learning. So he said he has someone that he can refer, and that is how I got the call from the regional coordinator of Money Point, and that's how I got it. So you can network by teaching people. So when you teach people, those people will not forget what you have done, and by that you network. So also find a mentor, someone that can guide you through the journey. Join online communities like the one here, and a lot of data. There are a lot of data communities. If you have, I don't know how everybody learn. But when I did ALX, when I joined ALX, after the training for data analysis, we are introduced to ALX community. So there are a lot of communities like that. You can join, you can attend conferences. So importantly, utilize the strength of social media. Your LinkedIn profile, build it, like connect with people through LinkedIn, through Twitter, through WhatsApp. You can leverage on that, especially when it comes to the reason why I put WhatsApp there is because as we may look at it that WhatsApp is common. No, people on your contact list, let them know what you are doing. When you work on projects, when you build dashboard, when you write Python codes or anything you do, let people on your WhatsApp see it. Like post it on your status instead of all those crews that we used to post. Instead of all those memes, all those crews that we used to post, all those entertainment things that we laugh at, you can also post your work, what you do. When people see it, they might not have any offer for you yet, but by the time the offer comes, they will definitely remember that you do post something like that, and they will refer you. So it is very, very important. So moving on, we talk about, so looking at my slide here, you see roadmap to becoming a data profession, and I put soft skill and hard skill here. So I've actually mentioned this before, so there's nothing to talk about it. Just soft skills, storytelling. You are building your dashboard. You have to. There's a difference between dashboard and reports. So when you build a dashboard, there must be, as you put your graphs, your dashboard must be telling some story. You are putting some recommendation and also the art of storytelling, the art of collaboration. You have to work with your team. You have to work in team when you are working as a data analyst or as a data scientist. So your collaboration skills must be very, very, you must take care of that. Decision making, fast coding, critical thinking, those are the soft skills. And hard skill too, we've mentioned that before, data visualization, data cleaning, writing Python, program, SQL, machine learning, algebra and calculus. Now, mentioning this, it comes to learning, our advice that most of us, whenever we want to learn, whenever we are learning any skill, any tools, let's say Excel, SQL, all these things, let's try to at least read one or more books on them, because it is very, very important. Theoretical background, theoretical knowledge of all these things are very, very important, because they go a long way in help us understanding the basics of all these things. It's not enough. When I started learning Python, I started learning with YouTube. And all I used to do then was to just copy code. When you are watching YouTube video, when they write a code, you will write it also, and you will work it. It runs. You clap for yourself. That's not the best way to learn. The best way to learn is to understand why the code is written that way. What if you are not in that situation? How will you write your own? So you have to understand the basics of all these things. And that's the difference between starting your journey as a data analyst in different fields compared to someone that is starting as a statistics student or a computer science student or a mathematics student. Because there are some things that the theoretical background must be, it must be clear before you can actually understand the practical aspect of it, especially when it comes to data science. All this machine learning, linear regression, logistic regression, KNN, SVM, they all have their formula. Without understanding those formula, the mathematics behind it, you cannot, you just be writing code. You don't know when to implement one and the other. So it is very, very important that you have some mathematical skills. You are not limited if you don't know mathematics, but you can always try to learn because it is very, very important. So moving on, preparing for data jobs and freelance gigs. Now you have the skills, you have network, you have people around you. Now, how do you prepare for jobs? How do you prepare yourself for jobs? So I divide this into two because there are two ways by which you can work as a data professional. Either you work in a company, you freelance. So when you are working in a company, what are those things that you are supposed to prepare for? You prepare a good and attractive resume, because resume is very, very important when you are to work in a company, because you will see the vacancy, you will see a lot of people applying. So it is your resume that the HR or the people that are recruiting that they will look at. It is your resume that will tell them who you are. So they don't have any one-on-one contact with you, and they don't have any, it's not like they are chatting with you. So it's your resume that will tell them all they need to know about you. So you have to build a good and attractive resume when it comes to job in a company. Certificates are very, very important too when it comes to working in a company, because what do you want to put in your resume if you don't have certificates? So how do you want to prove that you really learn data analysis or something? Because a resume you cannot put all the work you have been doing. It's not an essay. Resume is not an essay, it's an outline. You outline what they want to see. So if there are no certificates to prove that you learn these things, you might not be having there might not be some chance for you. You understand? So certificates are very, very important. So when you are learning, make sure, that's why it is important to enroll in boot camps and also take online courses, because there are certificates. You can get certificates, Google, Coursera certificates, IBM, a lot of them, ALX. Need a wide range of Power BI. There are different job requirements. So for you not to be restricted while applying for jobs, you just have to watch. Hello, am I still connected? Can people hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we can hear you.
you.
All right. Thank you. So, and when you have a lot of skills, I don't know Python, and this job require you, because there are some jobs I've missed out on some of those jobs earlier when I was learning data analysis. I started with Python and Excel. I started with Python, then Excel, then SQL. I didn't know Power BI. I didn't know Power BI on time.
Please, can you unmute yourself, Masak? What happened is I decided to mute everyone so that when people are joining, it doesn't disrupt. So you have to unmute yourself again. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
All right. So if you don't have a particular skill and it is required in the job requirement, definitely you're already missing out of that job. So having a wide range of skill is important for a job in a company. Background is also a factor when it comes to job in a company, although it is not important, but it is a factor. You see, when you see any job requirements, you see a degree in computer science, statistics, mathematics, or related fields. Now, you will now be asking yourself that, even some computer science students, we code better than them. We can do this better than them. Yes, you can do it better than them. What the company means is that they believe that these people will have some things to contribute, when it comes to theoretical advantage. They have some theoretical advantage over you. And the fact that you as a microbiology student can learn data analysis and you can learn it well, then a computer science student can also learn it well. And coupled with the fact that is a computer science student, so they usually have an edge. So now when I'm talking about background is a factor here, what I'm trying to put out here is that you can do some courses. Like, it's not necessary you go to school and study computer science. For some of us, we are already in university already, or some of us are even graduated. So you will now be thinking, say, will I go back to go and study computer science? You don't need to. You just need to take some courses, maybe some courses in statistics, some courses in math, just small courses that can, that can put you forward, that can give you also an edge when it comes to applying to all these jobs. Prepare a good cover letter that will explain your interest in that job, your interest as a data analyst, your previous experience, how you have helped the people you have worked with in the past, some projects you have done. So a good cover letter is required when you are working with a company. Some companies do not require it. They don't request for it. Like, it is just your resume. Or some company will require a resume and a cover letter. So you have to prepare a good cover letter. So you can go online for some of these things, how to write a good cover letter and so on. Now, lastly, when you are preparing to work for a company, it also runs your social media platforms, especially your profile picture, your Twitter, your WhatsApp, your LinkedIn. You must put a professional picture, not just some ordinary picture, because it's possible in LinkedIn. There are some things that are happening on LinkedIn. You can just see that some recruiter, they need a data analyst or a data scientist. They just search on LinkedIn, data analysts. They will see a list of different data analysts. Then they will start checking profiles. So imagine you don't have a very good profile, a very good social media presence. It is another factor. And some people take this for granted. It is not something to be taken for granted. Life is not just about, especially for those of us in data feed, life is not just about catching crews or all. Especially when you are in this stage of looking for jobs and all, you have to be very, very serious with your presence in online, with your online presence, because people are watching you. So you have to do something to that. Now, talking about freelancing, as opposed to working in a company, freelancing does not need a resume. Especially if you are working on, let's say you are freelancing on Upwork now. Nobody is asking for your resume. You don't need a CV like that. It is not necessary. So what you just need to do is to build a strong portfolio and have a good technical skill set. Like, you must be good. You want to work freelance, because freelance jobs are usually more tasking than job in a company. Because job in a company, some company can even give you some training before you can start working with them. But in terms of freelance, they just ask you, can you do this? Like, you will be the one to apply for that job in any way. You apply for it and the client is telling you, okay, I want you to do this for me. When will you submit? Now, it is very, very important that you know how to do it. The technical skill set must be there, and you must have a good portfolio to be patronized. Especially, freelancing can be so challenging and frustrating, especially on Upwork, where you have a lot of people applying for the same job that you are applying for. So, but they want to see what you have worked on, your portfolio on Upwork and all those freelancing platforms. So it is very, very important. Then choose a niche. If you are planning to freelance, you choose a niche. You can't work everywhere. So you must choose a particular, if it is data analysis, maybe you want to focus on SQL or Excel, you can choose a particular niche to work with. Background is not a factor. So when it comes to freelancing, because you can do whatever you want to do, whatever background you have, it is not important. Nobody's asking for your certificate or your degree. Even if you don't have a degree, it is not a problem when it comes to freelancing. Then in freelancing, the ability to craft a competitive proposal is very, very important. Ability to craft a competitive proposal, because it is proposal that win you job. So now there are different types of freelancing. We still talk about that later. There are different types of freelancing. Freelancing is not necessarily on Upwork or TopTar or freelancers. It is not only on those platforms that you can freelance. You can freelance on different platforms. You can be on Telegram. You can have a personal person that you are working for, like someone that is consulting you for your data, for any data project he has. So freelancing can be anything. So it is not every time you write a proposal anyway. But if you are to work on freelancing platform, platforms, you need a competitive proposal. The online presence is very, very important for someone who is planning to freelance. You have to be online. You have to be online, especially if you are to freelance on all this Upwork, TopTal, and so on. You have to be online because message can come in anytime, jobs can come in anytime. So you have to be online and be able to what you must be active. So online presence is very, very important. Now, know your worth and know your limit when it comes to freelancing jobs. Know your worth, know how to price. Because you are looking for jobs, you are desperate for jobs, does not mean that you will take a job of $100. You ask client to pay $10 just for you to start do that work and for another one to come. By the time you start doing that, you just see that you are working and you have nothing to show for it. So you know your worth and you know your limit. Don't be greedy about job. Any job that you know that you cannot do, don't take it. I've seen a lot of that. People will come to my DM, please, I have a work I'm doing. I am supposed to submit to the client tomorrow. I don't even know how to go about it. If you don't know how to go about it, why will you collect that job at the first instance? So only collect the job that you know how to do, that you are very sure that you've read the description of the job and you know that you can handle this. That is when you can collect the job. So know your limits. The time management is important when it comes to freelancing. You cannot disappoint clients, especially on freelancing platform like Upwork. By the time you start telling a client that you cannot meet up with the deadline, and reducing your presence on Upwork will reduce your success score, the job success score, and so on. So you will just see that clients are running away from you. They won't even click on you when you write a proposal. So moving away from that, we talk about building portfolio. So I've talked about portfolio before. Now let us quickly go through how we can build portfolio. So usually portfolio showcases your skill at work in the real world. It validates your work beyond the resume alone. And the first step in building a portfolio is choosing where to host it. So where do you want to host your portfolio? You can host your portfolio on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is kind of, is good actually. LinkedIn is very, very good. Whatever work you do, if it is Excel, if it is Python work you do, any job, any project you work on, you can post it on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is taking record of it. Like a recruiter can come to your LinkedIn and see everything that is there. So your certifications can be on LinkedIn. You understand? Your profile, you can build a good profile on what? On LinkedIn. GitHub is another option. So there is github.io which allow you to build a kind of portfolio that you can share the link to people and they can view. There's also GitHub for developers, normal, where you can put your Python codes, your R codes, and you can give people link to it and they can view your portfolio there. Kaggle, usually for data scientists. So in Kaggle, there are a lot of data sets there. You can even join competition. You will just go there, register, create an account, then you can do anything there. They even have Jupyter Notebook on that Kaggle, whereby you can do a whole lot of machine learning work on it and then submit there. It can be your repository it can be a portfolio for you. Linktree. So Linktree is another one, the private portfolio. I use this one. Let me quickly show you the example of how Linktree look like. Okay. So can you see this? So this is a good example of this Linktree. You can just put your, a short description about yourself. So your certification can be there. You can put a lot of certification. You can put your project portfolio. So each of these has a link. By clicking on it, it will direct you to the project, to the work itself. So, and you can share your contact and so on. So that is that about portfolio. Is that about portfolio? Now, talking about moving on, a simple portfolio includes at least 2 sections. You must have an about me section where you describe yourself. Then once you describe yourself, you market yourself. You must be able to describe yourself well. So in your portfolio, and also the data project section where you put your project. Now, when you are putting your project, you must put the latest or best work. Put your best work or your latest work in your portfolio. Don't just put any work in your portfolio. Your best or latest work, because people, even if you have a portfolio that contains, like, let's say 15 projects, nobody is interested in checking all those 15 projects. So they might just check the first 3 or the first 4. So the first 5, the first 6 must be the best. So your best work must be on the top. So that is another thing. So ensure that you include projects that highlight your data professional skill. Because you are building a portfolio does not mean that you can just dump anything there. You are doing, maybe you do assignments that has to do with Microsoft Word for someone. You now put it in your portfolio. So by doing that, you are just wasting space. So instead, put project that highlight your data professional skills. You told us you know how to use Python, you know how to use SQL, you know how to use Excel. Project that you have done that highlight your skills in those areas, put it in your portfolio. So that is how to build your portfolio, and build your portfolio as you learn and get inspiration from other people's portfolio. You can copy portfolio, you can see how someone has built portfolio, you can get some inspiration from that and build your own too. You understand? And you build as you learn. So all those personal projects you are doing as you are learning from data camp, learning from ALX, learning from everywhere, they are enough to contribute to your portfolio. So you can do that. Now, crafting resume. Let's talk about crafting resume. This one showing. So crafting resume. Resume is important when it comes to company, but I won't talk more on this because when you go online, you can just search template for resume, templates. There are very, very good things that you will see some example of a resume. But importantly, when you are searching online for some templates for your inspiration, make sure you direct it to the particular field you are. If you are a data analyst, you can just search resume template for data analyst, resume template for data scientist, because building crafting resume for data analyst might be different from what these people looking for, maybe teaching job or another job. It's very, very different. So in data analysis or data science field, when you are building your resume, you must highlight your technical skills, include work experience, include your data-driven achievements. Places you have worked in the past, how do you help them? How do you use data to help them achieve what they want to achieve? All those things, you can include them in your resume. So moving on, we talk about job search strategies. Now, how do you search for job? So usually, based on statistics, data professional job as becoming, they are increasing every day, and they are indispensable across different industries, from healthcare to finances to any industry, oil and gas, agric. They all use data, and they need data professionals, data analysts, data scientists. They need them. So before embarking on your job search, it is essential to define your career goal. Know what you want to apply for. Know what you want to do. We've discussed on that already. Whether you want to be a data scientist or data analyst, you should define your career goals. Then after that, showcase your skills and project through a comprehensive portfolio. We've discussed that already. Then, most importantly, tailor your CV and cover letter for each data job application. Don't be lazy. It happens that most of us, whenever we want to apply for a job, the same resume we are using, we keep sending it to every job application that we see. The same cover letter, we'll be sending it to every job application that we see. No, it is not, doesn't make sense. You tailor your CV and your cover letter to a particular job application, because those things have different requirements and it might be different industry. You are writing the same resume, the same cover letter for an healthcare industry and a finance industry. It is different. What they are expecting from you is different. So by looking at it, you don't know that you have a problem, but by looking at it, they will see that this person does not know what he's applying for. They will just see that how does your resume now point to us that you can work in an healthcare institution when what you have put there is actually for maybe financial institution or something. So you have to tailor your CV and cover letter for each data application job. Then leverage online and offline networking opportunities. We've talked that. Explore job search platform for data-related jobs. You can go online, go to Indeed, go to LinkedIn. There are some websites like that. You can see a lot of jobs there which you can apply for. Then work on your soft skill and prepare for interviews. Now, talking more about interviews. Now, preparing for interviews is not only when you have gotten the job or when you are invited for job. As you are applying for jobs, you should be getting ready for interview, because interview is always is always on short notice, because nobody will tell you that you are going to be getting interviewed in the next 2 weeks. As you are applying for those jobs, you can just see a message today, a mail today, Friday, that you are invited for an interview on Monday. So how do you prepare for interview? You prepare for interview by what? By researching the business where the place they invite you for interview. You have to research what they do there. You have to research the interview format. How do you do this? You can ask people in that company. You can just ask if anybody has worked or know that somebody that has worked in that company before. Then ask them how do they do their interview, because it is very, very important, so that you can prepare yourself better. Then identify your top skills. This company is requesting for, they need someone that know Python and SQL. Then you should know that you should get yourself prepared with Python and SQL. And when it comes to interview, it comes in two sets: HR interview and technical interview. In terms of HR interview, that's just talking about your experience. They will just talk about your behavior, ask some simple questions for you to get familiar with the HR. Then for the technical interview, that is the one that is specific to the data rules. They want to ask you questions on your SQL, on your Python, on your Excel, and so on. So what are those tips that you can, technical interview can be a physical one, like they can be asking you one-on-one. It can be online, and it can be a take-home test, like the one I did with Money Point. When I got interviewed for Money Point, I was called to come that day. I didn't even prepare for anything. I was just called to come, just be coming. So when I got there, I was asked, this is the problem we have. This is what we want to be solving. This is what we want you to be doing for us. Can you do it? I said, yes, I can do it. They just gave me their data, and they said, go and work on it and submit tomorrow. So I got home, I worked on it, and the second day I went there and presented it to them. And that was how I got employed. So it can be a take-home test, it can be anything. So prepare yourself for anything. So here are some tips for the technical interview. Make sure you are comfortable working with data tools. You must have learned a lot before you start applying for jobs. Don't apply for jobs that you don't know how to do. You don't know how to use SQL, you don't know how to use Python, but you see a job requirement that says you need Python, you need SQL, and you're applying for it. So you just want to go and embarrass yourself in the interview anyway. So make sure you are comfortable working with data tools. Be prepared to demonstrate your skill in data analysis process, because they will ask you what are the process of data analysis, from data preparation to data cleaning, to data analysis, to data visualization. They will ask you a question on it. Have a good understanding of statistics. In a lot of interviews, when it comes to data analysis or data science role, they used to ask questions on statistics, talking about mean, median, normal distribution, probability function. They talk, all those things. They usually ask questions on them. Be comfortable with data-driven decision-making. They can give you a question in narratives, like they can give you a scenario, like we have this problem. How can you help to solve it using data? So you have to be comfortable with data-driven decision-making. Be ready to discuss the challenges you faced. Don't neglect behavioral skills. Compose yourself. Make sure you are answering the questions they are asking. Make sure you don't go off point and everything. So then brush up on your industry knowledge. If you know that this industry you want to go and do interview, it is healthcare. Do some background research on healthcare so that you can know how data analysis is applicable to healthcare, and prepare yourself better for anything that is coming. So moving on from there, we talk about freelancing opportunities. So freelance data professional work independently. I know you've all heard about freelancing before, especially you are familiar with Upwork, TopTal, and so on. Freelancing is just you working on your own. And the advantage of freelancing is that you can decide on projects you want to work on. You can decide on taking holiday that I don't want to work this month. Nobody will take you for, we arrest you for that. So, but one thing about freelancing is that freelancing can be challenging. Before you get job, before you start, especially on Upwork, if you are a newbie, like you are a beginner, before you can get job on Upwork, you have to keep sending proposal. You will keep sending proposal, and you don't have to give up, because sending proposal, you can even send there is Connect. They give you Connect, and you even you exhaust all those Connect. You buy another Connect just to be applying before you can get one. I started applying for jobs on Upwork from 2022. No, not from 2022, earlier 2022, let's say like January. I got my first job on Upwork on October 2022. That was the first day I got my job on Upwork. After like 10 months of applying, though there were sometimes I was not active, like I didn't go to Upwork because I was frustrated and I stopped. But later, I keep doing it again before I got my first job on October 2022. And after then, I did some work on Upwork. So, you have to just continue doing it before you can actually come to this thing. Then another thing when it comes to freelancing opportunity to say this, your people your people are very, very important. People in terms of friends, your families, they are very, very important in freelancing opportunities. There are a lot of freelancing opportunities that you don't know about. There are some works I do recently that it has to do with people in UK, maybe US, studying masters in data analysis, studying masters in data science. Some of them don't know how to write code, especially some people that they leave Nigeria here to go to UK to go and study masters in data something, or in something that's related to using Python, using Excel, using SQL. They don't know how to do all those things, but they know that when they will see people that will do it for them. And I do most of it. I even have like 2 or 3 clients that is what they give to me. When they see assignment from people like that, they bring it directly to me and I will do it for them. Now, what am I trying to say is that you can only leverage on that if you try to move closer to your people. By posting online, posting on your WhatsApp status that you do these things, when opportunities like that come, they will refer you. And before you know it, you are freelancing. Freelancing is not only on Upwork, on TopTal. It can be from people they can give you work to do. There are a lot of times I do projects for 400 level students, final year students. I do their project using SPSS, and I do it a lot. So all those things are also freelancing opportunities. So you just have to start somewhere and you keep pushing it, keep doing it, don't relent. And by the time you keep doing it and you find your way, So importantly, take all these things take them as important. What you need to do before you can get that job. It is not always easy, but by putting all those things together, you will definitely get it. So in conclusion, landing data roles and freelance can be challenging. Applying to 10 of jobs and sometimes not hearing back from any, it is very, very challenging. But while you are at it, do not give up. Don't give up. Keep building your portfolio and your networks. So they need data professionals, they need data analysts, they need data science. Industries need them. So your time will come. You just have to continue shooting your shots till you get it. And by the time you get it, you will know that your reward for your hard work and consistency has finally paid off. So rejection is part of experience and it makes you get better. So don't worry about it. Just prepare yourself and it will be well. So most importantly, take your time to enhance your skill. Data analysis, data scientist, data engineering is not something you do in a rush. You do rush. In 3 months, I want to become a data analyst. I want to be getting money. I want to be having money. I want to become a tech bro in 3 months, in 6 months. No, it doesn't work that way. In reality, it doesn't work that way. You need to take your time. Develop your skill. There are a lot of things you need to learn. Not just the beginning, not just the surface. You need to learn them and know them very well. Be comfortable with those tools, and then you will see that by the time you start making those jobs, doing those jobs, more jobs will be looking for you, and you even have to stress yourself before you can get all these jobs. So that is all about the presentation. And so these are my own social media network. So you can link up to me on LinkedIn. You can link up with me on LinkedIn. My name is Olalekan Razak on LinkedIn. So this is my WhatsApp contact and this is my mail. So in case you have any message or any information or anything you might want to connect with me for. So that's all for tonight. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much. Please, let's use the emoji to give him, let's use it to, can you clap? Yeah, let's clap. Using the emoji parts. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sure that, this has been very helpful for everyone. Even me, I learned some things from here because, I've been on Upwork, but I've not been really doing much there. But this has kind of motivated me to probably, polish my CV and, start applying for freelance jobs. Thank you so much. We have one question. So if you have a question, please just put it in the chat or you raise your hand so that I'll unmute you. So one question we have here. Yeah, so Bisola is asking if you can show how your portfolio looks like. If you can just show us your portfolio.
So this is the one. This is Linktree. This is just Linktree. So you can, for the GitHub, you can actually go through the link I post here.
Okay. I would appreciate if you can, I don't know if it's copy and paste the links in this last slide into the
Okay.
chat.
I'll
Yeah.
do that.
It
I'll do
help,
that.
yeah, so that they can, copy it. Or if you can just, if some of you can take screenshots, please do that. Just take screenshots. Yes, thank you very much.
All right.
Does anyone have any question? Let me look if anyone is raising up their hand. If you have a question, please raise your hand. Okay, wow, quite interesting. Nobody has a question. Yes, so he has put the links in the chat section. So please make sure you copy that, because once this call ends, yeah, that's it. So copy that and maybe paste it somewhere. Is CV okay? Do you want to are you able to, somebody's asking, is asking if you can, I hope I didn't murder the pronunciation.
And the person can just message me on my WhatsApp, and I can just share it to him or her.
Okay, all right. You don't mind 32 people messaging you on WhatsApp, right?
No, I don't mind. We are all data professionals, and we have a
Okay.
lot as
All
well.
right. Awesome. Yeah, somebody is asking if you can share the material. So do you mean the slides? I guess she meant the slides. So yes, you can please just send it after the call to the email, and
Okay.
I would share it to everyone. Yes, I'll
All
share
right.
it to everyone. Awesome. Yeah, somebody's asking if you can show your CV. Okay, you said they should message you. All right, yes. Sandra, you have a question. Do you want to, I'm guessing maybe you want to talk, so I will ask you to unmute yourself.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, you can hear me. Okay. Please, I just want to ask Mr. Razak, because I just took this thing, introduction to data analysis online, and it lasted 6 weeks. But for every time I attended the class, I just felt that I wasn't getting something. Like I wasn't getting something. So after the course and everything, I still just felt very online courses. After everything, you should feel there should be this level of courage. Like, well, maybe not like you know everything, but I just knew there was something that was missing. So
Okay.
then I stumbled upon one material one time like that, and then I just read something that felt like rocket science to me, and I was surprised that in my introductory class with that online course, it was never mentioned. So okay, now that when I wrote it and then I realized that he actually said we could talk to him, I would have wanted him to maybe push, okay, like me, in the direction of maybe some online platforms or where I can pay and then get value for my money. Because I actually paid for this one and then nothing came out of it. I'm a bit disappointed. So
Okay.
yes, sir.
So sorry. What's the question itself? What's the question itself?
Okay, I was just saying maybe there are online will I say courses that one could take. Maybe because I heard you mention a few, like you kept mentioning ALX and then you mentioned the Udemy, and also I wanted to know if there was a particular one that you could recommend for.
Okay, I understand your question now.
Yes,
I
for
understand your
someone that
question
is
now.
starting out, because there are so many of them out there, and some of them just package themselves so well, and then
Yes,
after paying,
sure.
you don't get value.
Sure, I understand. You see, the thing is, when you are as someone just starting out in data analysis, I won't advise that taking, you can take online courses. You can take online courses. Coursera is a good one. Like Coursera Data Analytics is a good one. Though there are a lot of theory than practical. You might not actually know how to do those things. just the theoretical part of it. But I would advise that whatever you want to learn, there are ALX do best when it comes to teaching data analytics. Udacity also do better. Udacity also do best. Then I will recommend all these Coursera too. Then the thing is that another thing you can do is to meet someone that is a professional in that field to take you. Me, I usually enjoy one-on-one teaching. I miss that. Nobody teach me one-on-one, and it makes my learning so stressful because I used to learn a lot of things that are not even useful, some that I won't even know anything at the end of the course. So just like you have been experiencing. But having someone taking you personally, it might not be personal, but joining someone that has gone through that path and will take you what you need to know is very, very, very important too. Don't mind, you can't mind paying. You can go to all these physical classes. I stay in Ibadan here. There are classes in Dubai that you can just go. They are expensive anyway, like 250K maybe in 2 months or 3 months, but they worth it at the end of the day. But there are some things you can also do, like reading books and all. So you can reach out to me for any more information apart from this.
Okay, thank you so much. Do we have any no, I don't provide one-on-one. I don't. It's too stressful for me. I usually do. No, I used to teach one-on-one before, but it's too stressful for me to do that because I have like 2 jobs, so you can imagine taking one-on-one again. So yes, it's because I saw someone put it in the chat, so that people will not say come and take. No, I'm not doing one-on-one. I'm sorry. I really wish I can because I enjoy teaching. I'm not going to lie. People who have like been under my teaching know like how I take my time to teach and all. I really enjoy teaching, but it's like I'm not in a season that I can do it. But I mean, he has already said he can always refer you to people. So please feel free to like message him. Yeah, I wanted to also add something. There are different types of learners. As someone who has like been teaching over the years, I can say that, there are different learners. There are people who would survive watching an online course without anyone really guiding them like that, and they will be able to understand. I've seen those kind of people. Like all you just need to tell them is take this course, take this course, take that course, and they will excel. Like they may have questions, but they will be able to like follow the course and just understand. And there are people who they need that one-on-one. So it depends on understanding who you are, the kind of learner that you are. And you must be willing to like pay if you are a one-on-one, it will be more costly for you to learn. So you must be willing to like be ready to pay for that because it's something that most people will charge heavy for.
Yeah,
But
I understand.
yeah, so it's just about knowing yourself. In fact, me, I always say if you are starting out, I always say don't rush to pay for courses. I always
Yeah.
say that.
Oh,
I've seen people, yes, I've seen people who have paid for courses and they now saw that it's not even what they wanted to do. Like I think it was a month ago, someone was telling me she was a friend in Highland. She had paid for a data analysis course and everything. When she came to me, she was just lamenting that she now realized that business analysis was something that she could have explored. So I always say when you're starting out, when you're not even sure, you're not even sure if data analysis is really for you. You start with free courses, get yourself familiar with the terrain and see maybe it's something that, you would eventually like. After that, you can pay for course because most beginners, the mistake you people make is that you rush to pay for courses. You're not even sure if that thing is what you want to do yet. So I always say there are many free courses. Even me, I have courses on YouTube. Like there are many free, courses that you can take and use that to like ask yourself, does this look like who I am? Like, will I enjoy this as a lifetime, thing that I'll be doing for long? Or is it all foreign to me and should I try another role in tech? I mean, there are non-coding roles like product designer, project management, scrum master, product designer, different roles that are not non-coding. So don't always rush to pay for courses. Be sure that that's what you want to do. And you can only do that by following like a beginner-friendly course or just go to YouTube and type a day in the life of a data analyst. There are many people that have done videos like that. And you will see, if you watch like 5 to 6 videos, you hear them say the things that they do, what they use, how they do it. And from there, you can know if it's like interesting to you. So I just quickly wanted to chip that in.
You have said it well. You said it well.
Yeah.
It's really a good thing. There are some cases whereby some people will tell me they want to learn data analysis. I will ask them, go and think about it. Go and make some research. Is
Yeah.
it something you really want to do, or you just want to learn something and you think data analysis is just what you want to learn? Go
Yeah.
and do some research. Go and see for yourself if you can actually learn this, and if you are ready to learn, then we can start guiding you on what next to do. So you've
Yeah.
said, well, that's actually true.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lekon. Thank you. Like this has been, I'm sure that's really helped people. So don't just go away from this meeting and just forget. Try and take at least 10 minutes after this meeting to, ask yourself, what are the next steps? What are the things I should do? Where do I want to be in the next 5 years and all of that? So it's very crucial that you ask yourself these questions, so that you'll be able to. I didn't even know that you were from a non-computer science, because I am from a CS background, but I always envy people who are from non-CS background and they're like collecting the same money.
We have you too. We have you too.
Oh goodness. They collect the same money like us. So I really envy those people, because yeah, I think tech is one of those things that, anybody can really learn it. If I
Yeah,
want to do microbiology now, how many courses is there any, like,
you don't even,
do you
there's not
get?
even, yeah, I get.
Yeah, yes. I can't just go online and say I want to
I want to
learn
learn, it's not
microbiology.
possible.
But
It's not
yes,
possible.
yes, exactly. So, but tech is that thing that you can always, learn by yourself. So, yeah, I think I'll stop here. Please, common technical data analysis questions. Do you mean like interview questions? I'm guessing that's what's
I think that's what the person is trying to
okay.
ask.
Do you want to like, share some things about that?
All right. You see, one thing is that there are a lot of materials, there are a lot of information, resources that I can share that have some maybe SQL interviews, Excel interviews, Python interviews. I can even share some of them. If you go to LinkedIn, you can see some of them. So because we cannot mention all. So, but basically, you will see a lot of questions on statistics. Interviewer can ask you to describe how to use a particular function in Excel. If you are talking about SQL, they can ask you to describe how you can select, or how you can query a particular record from a table, how you can create a database, how you can create a table. It can be all these normal basic statistics questions like mean, median, mode, number distribution. They can ask you to, depending on the role you are applying for. If it is data science something, they can ask you questions that is related to machine learning, like the mathematics behind it. They can ask you to explain support vector machine, how it works, or something like that. So all these basic things, but there are a lot of them. You can just go online and search for SQL interviews, Python interviews for data analysis. You understand a lot of them. You will see a lot of questions like that.
Yeah. I also think you can check this website up, Interview Query. I think that's the name of the website, Interview Query. They have like it's like interview questions for data professionals. So you can check. I know they have like free version, pay at some point they will want you to pay, but you can check at least for the free one, you can check it out. Yeah. Okay, so I want to believe there are no more questions. We are 11 minutes past when we should have ended, but I hope this has been very fruitful for everyone. And I also want to say big, 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 big thank you to Mr. Olaleko. I really appreciate, you coming here. This has been very, very, yeah, like you hit the nail on the head. Let me just let me put it that way. And I want to say thank you. Maybe sometimes in the future we can invite you again to talk about something else. I hope you don't mind.
You are welcome, ma. You are welcome, ma.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you.